Welcome children. This is the last part of the chapter Atomic Structure and Chemical Bonding. Now before we start coordinate bond, let me just revise what we had studied in the previous videos. Now we had studied about the two bonds. First one is ionic bond, which is the bond which takes place by the transfer of electrons from a metallic atom to a non-metallic atom. Then we had studied about covalency, which is the number of electrons an atom donates or receives to form an electrovalent bond. Next we had studied about covalent bond, which is formed by the mutual sharing of electrons between two non-metallic atoms. Similarly, covalency is also the number of electrons which are shared by an atom to form a covalent bond. We had also studied about lone pair, which is the pair of electrons which is yet to take part in a bond formation. I had also told you that there is a third type of bond which is called coordinate bond. Now first let us understand the definition of coordinate bond, and you have only two examples in your syllabus. I will be drawing the structures of both, so carefully listen. A coordinate bond is a special type of covalent bond, in which the shared pair of electrons is contributed by one atom but shared by both. Now it is a special type of covalent bond. What happens in a covalent bond? Mutual sharing of electrons takes place. One atom will give its one electron, another atom will give its one electron, and then a mutual sharing takes place. Now in a coordinate bond also sharing takes place, but this sharing is not mutual. This sharing, or the shared pair of electrons, is donated or contributed. Don't write the word donated, write contributed by the same atom. It is shared by both but contributed by one atom. Now there are two examples which are there in your syllabus. One is hydronium ion. This is a cation, and you have ammonium ion. Now these two species, they represent coordinate bond, and you have these two in your syllabus. I will be drawing both the diagrams. Please pay attention. Now you know how a water molecule is formed. Dot, cross, these are the electrons representing a dot cross. Now you have a lone pair of electron plus H plus. This H plus comes from an acid. Now the oxygen atom has two lone pair of electrons. Now out of these two lone pair of electrons, it gives one lone pair of electrons to this H plus for sharing. So you have dot, cross, dot, dot. This is another lone pair of electrons. Dot, 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 cross of hydrogen, and here that H shares this pair of electrons which is given by the lone pair of oxygen. And this is the coordinate bond is represented by, now you know covalent bonds are represented by a dash. I had told you in my previous video, and this is the symbol of a coordinate bond, which is an arrow, and please don't forget this positive charge. Now the mouth of the arrow, the head of the arrow, is towards the acceptor, and the base is from the donor. Here oxygen, it acts as a donor. It contributes this one lone pair to form a bond, coordinate bond. And remember, this coordinate bond is even weaker than a covalent bond. Strongest bond is ionic bond, then less strong than ionic bond is a covalent bond, and this coordinate bond is even weaker than a covalent bond. Now this goes to this. Okay, this is not transfer, remember. Now this is shared, but it is contributed by this one atom. So this is the diagram. Please remember, very often it is asked in your board. The next example which you have in your syllabus is NH4+. Now for this we have to study the formation of ammonia. Dot cross N dot cross dot cross H. This is an ammonia molecule plus H plus. Now this comes here, so you get H dot cross N dot cross H dot cross H and dot H. Now this has only one lone pair of electron, which is contributed to the formation of this coordinate bond. And then the next diagram, H, N, H, and the coordinate bond. And of course, please practice these two diagrams. It's very important. This is a coordinate bond and it is weaker than a covalent bond. Okay.